Hey gang, let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Drop it.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I got Josh and Shane here with us on episode 12 of Be Loyal to Your Soil, our weekly podcast. And you guys own or work for Choice Ag Services? I forgot to ask you that.
Yeah, so I own Choice Ag Services. Shane with me here. He helps us out at Choice Ag, and then also farms just south of town here. So
Nice. Well, I guess introduce yourself, Shane, or Josh, sorry, and then tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll do that to Shane, and then we'll kind of dive into some questions. If any of you have any questions for Josh or Shane, please let us know.
yeah, so Josh Soppe, owner of Choice Ag Services in Manchester, Iowa. Ag retail store, sells seed, chemical, fertilizer, biologicals, kind of the whole works. I do also farm just northeast of Manchester. And there's a few of us involved here that in the operation that sell seed, chemical, kind of the whole works. And Shane's one of our customers, but also helps us out at Choice Ag, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah. So Shane Backenstead, also from Manchester, Iowa, and work with Choice Ag during the season. And then I also farm at home with my dad, and that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast tonight, guys. It's a busy time of the year, so it's getting to be really busy time of the year. So is this been like a warmer spring more than normal, or what are you guys seeing?
Yeah, so we have our main location here, and we have a second location actually up in Strawberry Point, just north of us, about 10 miles. And the last 3 years, we have had to ship seed, chemical, the whole works up there because we didn't have enough storage here. And the month of February, with temperatures being in the 70s multiple days in a row, we actually did not bring a single box of seed or a single tote of chemical up to Strawberry this year. We were able to kind of get it all out the door. Farmers were willing to take it just with how nice the temperatures were through February and a little bit of March there. And but yeah, overall, we have some customers that they do have some seed in the ground. They shut down the planters Monday around noon. But the previous 5 days to that, there's a decent amount slammed in the ground. So kind of finished up spraying what was all on the ground on Monday, and got shows on the road. So got a little bit of a breather here with some rain we finally got. So we were dry and got about 1.25 inches last night. So
yeah, I live in Southwest Wisconsin, and it's been dry at home too, but we finally got some rain. So I was really hoping with all the snow that we had and the ground wasn't frozen, that a lot of that would have seeped in, but everybody's saying it's still pretty dry. So
I would agree. Yeah. I actually have a pond behind my house, and it was about 6 feet low, the previous 6 months. And actually after these last couple rains, the last a few weeks here, it has filled back up to the overflow level. So
good.
We do have a little bit of moisture in the ground, which is a good thing, but we are definitely still behind the curve as far as moisture goes. So
when did you get involved with Holganix? How long have you been working with Holganix?
So we got involved 3 years ago. Shane, you've been using it 2 years?
And 2 years.
Yep. So Shane's been using it 2 years. We got involved 3 years ago. Long story short, Madison Moorfeld called one of my customers, actually, knew him from college and had him try some product. And my customer called me and said, I think this is a product you need to be taking a look at. So I experimented with it that year just on my own personal farm. We didn't distribute it to any customers, but saw good results and decided to jump on board the following year. And that's when Shane jumped on board and multiple other customers. So
that's awesome. Shane, what was the first year you used it?
So last year was just the first year.
Okay.
So I've done it both in the spring and applied it in the fall as well. So, and I'd say honestly, though, I just worked it up last weekend, and it kind of looked like I baled it, all the corn stalks off of it with that breakdown product. And usually in years past, I'd say when I worked it, would end up having bigger clumps and stuff. And I think it worked up a lot better and make for a better seedbed when I go to plant.
No, and I'm not a farmer at all, guys. Everybody that follows, I'm a tractor puller, but I feel like I've learned more about N and K and P and all the other letters in the alphabet this is episode 12, so we've been having a lot of fun learning about all this. I got a picture up there from your Facebook page. It's Choice Ag Services for everybody watching at home right now. Or if you're
That's actually a planter we built. So that
cool.
is a Harvest International bar, and then we set it up with all the goodies. We sell ag leader equipment and precision planting equipment here. And so Dustin, our partner and one of our guys here at Choice Ag, he set that planter up with all the high speed and all the goodies. So
I like it. So what have grain prices been doing? I don't pay attention enough to that.
December is at like, I don't know, 470 maybe.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So seemed like it wanted to break through some of the resistance levels, but it seems like right when it gets to them, it's just right back down. So
what are they saying is putting pressure on it, guys?
Oh, that's a good question. I think there's just so many unknowns. I mean, they don't, in my opinion, don't have the planting acres correct yet. We deal with 300 to 400 customers here, and I've been watching rotations as far as, we obviously sell seeds. So what acres are going to corn, what acres are going to beans. And there hasn't been much of a switch from past years. So I just feel like those acres reports might be just a little bit off, in my opinion.
Yeah. So with Holganix, you said you started 3 years ago. Like what I've been seeing a lot is like a customer will try a tote or something the first year, then the second year they're going a lot more all in on it. Is that kind of the same thing you're seeing at Choice Ag?
Yeah, same thing we're seeing. First year we did an in-furrow with the planter in the spring. Left a few check strips. Don't remember off the top of my head what the yield bump was that year, but I know they had mentioned once you're using the product for 3 years, that's when you really start to see things kicking gear. And that fall, it would have been fall of 20. I don't remember if it was 21 or 22, but sprayed. We did just a little bit of the breakdown products. So in my farming operation, we actually strip till. So we were looking for just some breakdown products to use in general because we're not turning the dirt black, and put Holganix with a bunch of check strips, the breakdown product that fall. And it's kind of interesting. I actually had a neighbor call me. We sprayed my grandparents' home farm. We sprayed it on a Friday afternoon. He called me on Monday and he's like, "What did you spray on that field? Because it's already starting to turn black." And so that was kind of the start of the eye opening, I guess. And just to speak a little bit more to that, obviously we strip tilled everything last fall, and I went and looked at that same farm here. It would have been a couple days ago, and it almost looks like it was just field finished. So everything's broke down, and just visual results. It's crazy. So
no, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been talking to farmers from Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois. I think even some Minnesota that have used the Holganix product. It's been uber. It just works. We've had a lot of agronomists on, we've had a lot of farmers on, and different things like that. So it's been fun to hear their stories. And I do feel bad for farmers. I'm a mortgage lender, guys. I knock on real estate agencies all the time saying, "Hey, send me a lead." You guys, farmers, all kinds of salespeople coming on your farm every day. What was the one thing to kind of get you to try this, Shane and Josh, if you both want to answer that?
When I went to the meeting, I forget if they said they started with like golf courses, and I think they were doing like professional football fields or something.
Yeah.
But so they showed how that had been working, and I just kind of thought the overall way everything looked, and then he did show pictures of his check strips and just how much greener the corn looked, and it looked like it held on longer. I guess that's what kind of drew me into wanting to try it. And then you know, a lot of people want to do the cover crops. So I guess to me, the other sell point was if I can kind of achieve the same goal with this and not really add an extra step of work to have to do, I was more interested in trying it for that too.
So this is year number 2 for you, Shane?
Yes. Yep.
And you did fall and spring, or just fall? I forgot what you said.
No, I did both. Yep.
You did both. Okay. And how many acres are you using this year?
We did it all last year. So it's just it's 500 acres. We just, because one tote was going to do it all. So we just did it all. But
nice.
I mean, last year with the drought, I mean, I think we had 2 stretches of 40, 45 days, no rain in the beginning and the end. And we still were kind of right around that 220, 230 for yields. So
nice.
I was pretty impressed with that, at least.
So from a just a true farmer, don't be a scientist or agronomist for a second. What do you think is the one thing that it's done for you and your ground?
I mean, honestly, multiple things. The breakdown is huge for us. Like I said, we do strip tilling and residue management in general. When in Northeast Iowa, we have flat black dirt. You know, we have a lot of mid 80s to mid 90s CSR. You know, one of our worst farms in our operation is, you know, still 65, 70 CSR. So we're always growing big yields. You know, 2 years ago, our farm average was, we were 262 on corn and 83 on beans. And it's the residue management piece is huge, especially in a strip till operation, because prime example was that year we had the 260 corn. I tried strip till in one of our fields, could not get the strip till bar to feed through at all. Like it was just balling up, just would not feed through. I ended up stopping the strip till bar. I actually went and sprayed Holganix on it. We did get 2 rains in between, but 3 weeks later, I went back and strip tilled it and everything fed perfectly through. So just the residue management piece is a big deal around here. So that's kind of my number one thing. And then I guess just in general, you know, we know how much NP and K is in the soil. And, you know, there's a lot of companies trying to claim that, you know, we're trying to just unlock N, or we're trying to just unlock phosphorus, or we're just trying to unlock potassium, or whatever the scenario is. And what I do like about the Holganix product is, you know, there's a lot of different bugs in there, you know, trying to unlock all of them. So it's like, do we spend the 10, 12 bucks an acre just to unlock nitrogen, or 10, 12 bucks an acre just to unlock phosphorus, rather than, you know, if we can get it all? Because there's a lot of companies out there claiming they're doing, you know, all that stuff, but I like that it's all in one jug essentially, and it's unlocking a little bit of everything. And same with, you know, the reason we switched to strip till was to reduce commercial application of fertilizers. So if we can combine that with the Holganix product and even reduce it more, that's going to be a huge benefit. There's a lot of risk on the table in general this year with high input costs and lowering grain prices currently. And you know, if we can cut back on some of our NP and K and unlock some of it in the soil with you know, the Holganix product, then you know, that's a win-win. So
that was neat to hear you say that you sprayed some of it on there, and a local neighbor said, "What'd you spray on that field?" With you actually, you know, being a farmer and owning an ag company, what are some of the things? I mean, do they feel like, oh, you're just trying to sell this to me, Josh, or what are some of the things that people are saying to you, like maybe some of the skeptics? How do you dance around that?
So we have companies knocking at our door on a daily basis. Try this, try this, try this, try this. And how I typically approach that is, you know, we'll take some product, we'll spread it out into some of our customers, we'll let them do the testing for us. And so when I have people calling me saying stuff like that, it's like, I just tell them, hey, maybe you need to be taking a look at this. You know, where could it be a fit in your operation? And just kind of leave the ball in their court, and you know, give me an answer on how you think it could work in your operation, and then you know, let's give it a whirl on a couple different fields or 3 different fields or whatever the scenario is. let's leave some check strips. Let's do multiple years of it just to make sure we don't rule out 1 year, So that's how I typically handle it.
And the one thing I've noticed too, and I've gone to a couple of the grower meetings, they talk about coming out and checking roots and leaves and all these kinds of stuff I've never even heard of before. That's one thing too, because I think they really want to back it up with the numbers and the data too. I mean, you hear Moorfield say data drives decisions. And what's one thing that, like, do a lot of companies do that, Josh, or am I kind of naive when everybody's got an agronomist doing that? I feel like Holganix is doing a little bit more.
Yeah, so no, that is Holganix is definitely doing a lot more of that testing. I know they have that Chrysalis Labs probe that we're check versus non-check on Holganix products. We actually do own a Chrysalis Labs probe also. We just bought one, and we're going to utilize that this year on doing the same thing. But we track a lot of our data with our customers through climate. So a lot of them are set up as far as recording it to the climate platform. So it's easy at the end of the year where we can just pull out the check strips, see what stuff did, so on and so forth. And like I said, we don't ever rule anything out a year into it because there's so many different factors that could play into it. And so we like to see multiple years of data before we would ever rule anything out.
Awesome. Shane, as a farmer, and then you get to hang out with the great Josh. Is he a good boss to work for? Does he pay you well? Is it just in beer, or is it? I need to know.
It's in whiskey.
Yeah, it is in whiskey, but no.
What kind of whiskey, Shane?
This is Crown right now.
Oh, that a boy.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it. Yes.
But yeah, no. Overall, yeah, no. It works really good. It's convenient for me. Just getting to do this during the season and kind of help support my spending habit with farming, and then I got the freedom to be gone, and it works well with my schedule.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Josh, are you seeing, like, your farmers? Have you had anybody kind of do that first year? Are you seeing the same trends? They're doing more and more. I know I mentioned that a little bit earlier in the podcast. And then, like, are you getting some first timers this year? What's it looking like for Holganix use for you?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So it's when you got a new company kind of coming to the table, everybody's always hesitant. So we're just like, hey, let's try it. Let's do some more the next year. Let's make sure we apply on similar acres. We had every single person that has bought it the last 2 years, I guess now, has purchased it for the third year. We're still wrapping guys' heads around how we need to be thinking about this, as far as maybe we need to be pulling back on some commercial fertilizer and adding in, a product like Holganix. So it's a little bit of both. It's first time guys trying it, and people are starting to talk around the area, which is probably the biggest thing. Like I said, when my neighbor called me and asked about what'd you spray on your field, he talks to my other 7 neighbors also. And so we got people asking about it, going, what is this? How does it fit into our operation? So on and so forth.
Well, I think we're all creatures of habit. I mean, I don't want to make fun of anybody. You guys know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
You get kind of stuck doing your main thing. So how long have you've been farming your whole life then, Josh?
No, I actually haven't. My dad has a local HVAC business, and so they rented all the farms out. It would have been, 23 years ago now. And then I got back from college 8 years ago, and I was just hounding him that, I would love to farm. I always helped our neighbors out. The one that called me, I always helped him out with his operation. And so I just started farming 5 years. This is my 5th year. So
nice. Where'd you go to school?
Went to Iowa State. We both did.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good deal.
Were you egg business?
Yeah, I went for egg business.
We were both egg business. Yeah.
I wish you guys would have did a little better in basketball this year. I had my hopes up.
Yeah. So did I. Ruined all 3 brackets.
They might have a pretty good few years here with the team they got.
Yeah.
Good. Shane, how long have you been farming?
Grew up on the family farm, so I've always helped my dad. And then I just have one field with 80 acres, and I think I started that in 2017. 17 or 16, so
nice.
right around 7 years.
Josh, what's the biggest part of your business of the Choice Ag?
As far as like between,
what's your, I guess, your biggest item you sell? Sorry, how do I say this? Like, what's your main?
Yeah, so I always put it into 3 buckets: seed, chemical, and precision ag equipment. And honestly, all 3 of them are pretty much exactly 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So yep. It's
that's cool that you're not all in on everything. I mean, you got to mix it up a little bit.
Right. Yeah. No, we got some good guys around here, and you know, they all pretty much level out. So
yeah. No, I met the owners of Holganix last summer during the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling season and got to know them. And then we started the podcast here, the first of the year. They do a lot with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pullers. Obviously, a lot of farmers are pullers, so it makes sense to work together with them. And then we started the podcast. So it's been fun for me because I've met a lot of farmers like yourselves, and then a lot of different agronomists from different companies. And then, like you said, with Choice Ag. Ag's a big part of who we are in the Midwest. I was just out in California past weekend. I was in Madera area down to like San Luis Obispo for Cal Poly. I went out there to cover their tractor pull, and it's not the California we see on the news at all. I wasn't in San Fran. I saw thousands of acres of tomato plants and almond trees, and it was really, really beautiful out there. But I also saw $6 gas prices too, so that scared me a little bit.
Right. Yep. I hear you there. Yep.
It was neat to go out there, and it was, besides the palm trees, it felt like home. Everybody was nice and hardworking, and just good people. So it was good for me to experience that, because I kind of got out there. I'm like, well, this isn't LA and San Fran that I see on the news. This isn't the California that I think of. It's actually really enjoyable to go out there and see everybody. So it was fun.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep. I got to get some Holganix out there for those guys. So
absolutely. Yeah, I had
get them going.
I actually just started spraying Holganix on my lawn last summer, because my roommate from college said he's been spraying Holganix on his lawn for the last 3 years, and he's one of the most anal people on the planet. And he's just like, it's incredible. Like, you need to cover it with multiple applications. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see how it does.
So we joked about it on the last podcast. We were going to spell somebody's name out in my backyard and Holganix just to see how that would work like that.
See what it looks like. Yeah. Yeah.
So my neighbor, I live in Southwest Wisconsin. My neighbor's already mowed his yard twice, and I haven't mowed it once yet. I'm actually in Savannah, Georgia tonight, visiting down here. So I've been just running my butt off. I need to get home, but normally we don't have to mow in mid-April. So
absolutely not. My lawn does need mowed, but we've been running so hard here the last 5 to 7 days that haven't had a chance to yet.
For Eastern Iowa, where you're at, how much more ahead are the farmers than last year? Or does that rain insurance date, or not the rain insurance, sorry, that insurance date, does that really kind of set the planting season, or what are you seeing?
Oh, we're not ahead of last year, is what I would say. Okay. So last year, we do a little bit of custom work also, just for a few of our customers. And we planted our first cornfield last year on April 12th. And to my knowledge, none of our customers have any corn planted around here. We have, guys just started on beans. Okay. Get kinks worked out of the planter, get something in the ground type scenario. And just see what the differences are after these next 7 to 10 days look pretty wet. So, we might not be back in the fields here for 10, 12 days. And it'll be interesting to see. So the insurance did not play a role. That's what I would say.
Are we still in a drought, or what are you guys seeing?
I would say so.
I mean, last year, our range, the lowest rainfall on one field was 7.5 inches, and the highest was 11.5. So, a typical year we see anywhere from, call it 19 to 23 inches. And in my opinion, we're not anywhere close to made up for what we have lost last year so far.
Okay.
I would say over the last 2 years, if you combine the last 2 years, we're probably a whole year behind on rain.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
We have a lot to make up for. I mean, yeah, we did get 1.25 inches last night, which we were very grateful for, but it's definitely still dry out there. There's one of the local excavator guys. Does a lot of just dirt work in general, and he's digging houses, and he made a comment to me probably it would have been about a month ago now. He said he went down, I don't remember what he said, 9 feet or something, or 10 feet, and there wasn't a lick of water, and it was in an area that typically you're hitting water at 2 feet type scenario. So no, I definitely think we're dry overall. So
yeah. We haven't got too nerdy tonight. I always pick on the agronomist, but that's one thing. What is it when you go out and you pound that thing in the ground, then you pour water into it? How fast? What's that called, Josh?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Some water, something. How fast the water soaks into the soil, or how much? I don't know how they did it, but they talked about with the Holganix how it's allowing the water to go down quicker because of the breakdown.
Right.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
I always feel bad because I don't know the technical terms, Josh. But,
right. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, and just in general, compaction is an issue, especially with our flat black soils around here, 80 to 90 CSR, like I said, and it'll be just interesting to see, what kind of results we see from that. Just helping with the compaction side.
So Mike Batson, the agronomist at Holganix, that's a water infiltration test. And then Jenny Honix has the same thing. So she's one of the owners of Holganix. So that's good to see that there. I knew that was one of the things they really talked about. I was like, so even when it is dry, the water that is there is, able to get up, you're able to get down to it. So that's really, I've learned more about roots and leaves and stuff, Josh and Shane, than I ever thought I would in my life. So it's good stuff.
I get that.
But I love me a farmer because my dad farms down by Marion, south of you guys. And
oh, really?
Yep. So
gotcha.
So I got. Do you guys know any truck and tractor pulls in your area? Do you have any customers that truck and tractor pull at all?
Oh, we do. Yeah. Yep. So we've got.
You mentioned DJ Sullivan.
Yep, DJ Sullivan, Matt Neiman, truck pulls. Yeah, there's just a few around the area that I know of. So.
Yep. I years ago loved going to I haven't been to the Manchester Fair. Is that Delaware County? Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
I haven't been to that pool probably in 20 years, but it was fun to go there with my dad back in the day. There was the beer garden was always down by the starting line. Everybody sit there and just drink beer when we leave the starting line. And
nothing has changed if you're wondering.
It's nothing changed.
That's exactly what happens.
No, that's the America I love. That's the America absolutely. I love. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to summer and getting pulling and all that stuff. So.
You and I both. Yep.
It's going to be fun. Well, cool. I put the Facebook page up earlier. I guess, Josh, anything else you want to thank or anybody you want to talk about tonight before we let you go?
No, I'm all good. Yeah. Appreciate you guys having us on here and like talking about it. And
well, thank you for using Holganix products. Obviously, I love them because they're a big supporter of truck and tractor pulling, and that's what I love to do. And it works. That's the one thing. If I'm ever going to talk about something or put my ugly butt on a podcast in front of a lot of people, I want to make sure that it's something I believe in, that they actually, bring in value to a farmer, and that's what it's all about. So
yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, to make a toast, Josh and Shane, I'm going to see your Crown Royal and your beer. Thank you guys. Thank you for being Holganix customers. Yep. Thank you for selling Holganix, and you guys have a great night. Okay.
You too. Yep. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yep. Take care.
Yep.
I gotta find my video. I gotta be ready. So thanks for watching episode 12, everybody. Of Be Loyal to Your Soil. Head over to HolganixMidwest.com. Check it out. Good stuff. You can't go wrong. And just if you're on the fence, just go try one tote that first year, or have a conversation with Mike Batson. He's a real good dude and knows what he's talking about. So have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Hey gang, let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Drop it.